time for the big fat idea. Maybe this week I should have called it the big fat question. Kyle Green joins me, mortgage specialist with the Green Mortgage Team. Kyle, it's very straightforward. I've been looking at this rise in interest rates. Really, you could peg it from July on, in the States. And a lot of talk now is that, that record low interest rate environment's coming to an end, and we'll start seeing a bump up. And I wanted to ask you about people who have been on variable rate mortgages. We've been telling them don't worry till 2018. But what's your take on that? I mean, at some point, shouldn't someone look to lock in?
Yeah, so the question is, you have to be watching both variable rates and fixed rates. So the prime rate is unlikely to increase for the next year or two. At least that's what most economists are predicting. The problem, though, is that when you go to lock in a variable rate into a fixed rate mortgage, you actually need to be watching bond yields. That's how fixed rate mortgages are calculated. And bond yields are likely to rise if the U.S. Fed continues to increase rates down south. So a lot of the time, people make the mistake of looking at locking in their variable rate when the prime rate has gone up, and they say, oh, maybe I should go to lock in my fixed rate now. And unfortunately, it's likely that if the prime rate doesn't move for the next couple of years, it's much more likely that bond rates would have moved up over the next few years, and you're actually looking at locking into a rate that's much higher in 1 or 2 years than what's currently available on the marketplace.
So quickly, obviously it depends on people's individual circumstances, but are you starting to see more people come in? Are you starting to recommend that? Like, give me, so answer that, and then give me what the best 5-year rate is right now.
Yeah, and you know what? As you said, it does come down to people's circumstances. I'm still recommending variable for a lot of our investors. The big challenge is from a mortgage perspective, your penalty to break a mortgage, if it's a variable rate, is just 3 months interest. A penalty to break a fixed rate mortgage is either 3 months interest or this interest rate differential penalty, which can be, in many cases, 2 to 5 times greater than the 3-month penalty.
Sure.
And so it goes further than what happens with interest rates. There's also a potential penalty calculation that you need to consider. So it really depends on the circumstances. But 5-year fixed rate right now, there's actually a really wide gap. If you're a first-time home buyer putting less than 20% down, which is where the best pricing is, you're around 2.59. If you're putting around 20% down, then the pricing is more like 2.79, 2.84 with most banks.
Okay, well, Kyle Green is a mortgage specialist, but go to greenmortgageteam.ca, www.greenmortgageteam.ca. Get more information from Kyle. Thanks for the time. I'll come back.